Let's get this figured out. This road gon' give me whatever I need until I get this vision out. Then they gon' pay me whatever I ask, cause I got it figured out. Family be checking all up on a nigga to see how I'm feeling now. Damn, they love to see a nigga really make a killing now. I put a lock on the game and I hide the code and the keys. I am not playing no games, I really play this shit for keeps. That shit for me.
MaddenHeadz YouTube, what's going on? It is your boy, Coach DC, coming back at you today with another video. And today, fellas, we're going to get into the differences between, like the hard cuts and the roll cuts. And so to me, basically just getting right into the video, the difference is a hard cut is more of a flick of the L2. So the left trigger, you're gonna hit it, just hit it at the time of the cut, at the time of the change of direction, come up out of it with a little speed burst, and you are going to get a hard cut, the foot plant. You're gonna see that front foot generally stick that foot in the ground and make that plant. And why am I kicking field goals? I got my editing is terrible. All right, but anyway, back to the roll cuts right here. Now roll cuts are generally more of a squeeze of the L2, just slightly, just maybe 5-10%, depending upon how much you need to slow up and how much of a subtle change of direction you need. You can roll cut and still kind of steer a little bit. So a roll cut is more of a steer with less speed than a hard cut, which is more of a flick of the L2. So it's like you just have to really understand and notice the difference between the two. So let's say, for instance, if you're like running maybe a stretch play or something, if you see that foot plant in the ground right there, that's a hard cut. That's me full kind of a hard flick of L2 and the change of direction. Then of course I come up out of it with speed burst. Now roll cuts are a little bit different in the fact that I'm gonna kind of slow my way into it because I want the defense to continue to over pursue. They're not even gonna notice that I'm really changing speeds or changing directions. It's gonna be real smooth like this. Like watch, a little bit over pursuit, and then once you cut, the roll cut allows you to kind of straighten up, get your speed. I mean, it's more of the roll cut is more fluid, where the hard cut is more direct. So again, the differences are simply just a flick of the L2 as opposed to a slight squeeze of it and the change of direction. Now, on certain runs, if you really get in tune with your mechanics, you can mix and match them. I mean, all the way and throughout the run in different situations. So it's like sometimes you may have to just hit the hole, right there. Nice roll cut right there. It's just a simple, just a slight steer. And is basically like just a change of speed with a slight steer. If I want to put my foot in the ground at any point, I can turn a roll cut into a hard cut at basically any point during the run just by reapplying the L2. So that was a gem right there. So understand that you can hit it as many times as you want and whenever you want. And understand that all this stuff is subject to user control and when you have the ball in your hands. This is why I love this play right there. See, you can slow down, a couple little hard cuts, L2. Yeah. So that's really how it's done. It's about your multiple uses of L2 and either how hard you're pushing it or how soft you're pushing it, and the change, bam, change the direction right there. And so you see how direct, much more direct that is with the hard cut. The tricky part about the hard cut is understanding like the footwork portion of it, where you have to come out of the cut, because a lot of times, even in this one, I didn't come out of it as smooth as I wanted to, because I did false step like on the second cut. And so that's what you want to do. You want to avoid those false steps. Look at those roll cuts. Those are all roll cuts and change of direction. Look at that, right? The nastiest roll cut, just ran right by the guy. And then, like I said, the reapplication of L2 at any point while you're running and changing direction is going to help you. Fellas, I know I'm avoiding talking about the update patch, but we'll talk about the catching thing. Yeah, it's weird to me that after every MCS tournament, the patch comes and the game totally changes. Y'all never noticed that? But anyway, once again, nice smooth roll cut right there, change of direction, change of speed. And it's really all about your level of consistency to use this stuff, and how familiar you are with the skills of the running back that you're running with, or the person that has the ball at the time, because everyone's going to be a little bit different. Some guys are going to be better at roll cutting, and some guys are going to be better at making hard cuts. Change of direction is one big attribute that I've seen that makes a huge difference. If your guy has a 80, I forgot whatever the threshold I came up with. It might be like a 82 or something like that. If he's like a 80 change of direction, man, your hard cuts are going to have a big difference to them. And then when you get up there with the elite running backs, I've only played with like a couple of elite running backs. It's the amount of stuff that you're able to do with the cuts and the fake cuts and all that stuff is kind of crazy how they maintain their acceleration. I would say that's the biggest difference between the elite running backs and the regular guys. So as you see, you're just watching me just go through a series of hard cuts and roll cuts. So for me, the roll cut is better suited for guys who like to over pursue. You might play an opponent who likes to, I call them one level guys, where they're just going to blitz all linebackers and show blitz and put every linebacker on the line. So those guys basically only have one level of defense against the run. If somehow you break through that first level, it's only you and the safety, or you and whoever the last guy that they're controlling is. But for me, with those guys, the roll cut is much better, because normally they're trying to either discourage you from running by crowding the box, and what happens is when you roll cut, you're going to slow roll into it and you allow the defense to over pursue. That's the key with the roll, is let them over pursue. And that gap shooting guy, you want to maintain just enough speed to avoid the guy shooting the backside or inside gap as you run away from him on a stretch play or any play to one of the outside or outside of the tackle holes, meaning like, if you're running a 6 or a 7, basically 6, if you don't know, this is even numbers on the right, odd numbers on the left. That's how the holes are counted. All right. And so once again, right there, nice roll cut as I run right through my lineman's leg. Thanks, EA. And just the utilization of the speed, the changing of the speed. You have to go back and watch that video. I won't go over that part again, but that has a big part to do here. Once again, like I said, you see that first little inflection as the ball gets in my hands is you see me square the running back's shoulders. So if you square the running back's shoulders, you're going to influence the defense. Did it right there again. Now that's more of a hard cut right there. You see how you can use it at multiple times during the run. There's like, I know in years past we couldn't squeeze the L2 and all this stuff, so it gets kind of tricky from game to game. But with the modifier coming back there, you see that first little inflection right there in the line right there. That influences the defense to come to straighten up, come forward. Now watch the cut here, right there. You see how he takes that little gather step, puts that foot in the ground, and cuts up the field. Anyway, man, I appreciate each and every one of you guys. It is your boy, Coach DC404. I am